Alright, so short market recap for yesterday's price action, the 26th of August. And so over here in Notion, for the pre-market analysis, I had all these zones marked out. I'm just going to show it here because I'm not too sure if I already got rid of them or whatever in the motive wave. So these were the zones I was primarily looking at. Every red zone is a shelf. The blue zone, in this case, is the high volume node. And for ES, I didn't really mark anything too important out because it was the distribution ranges were very weird in my opinion, so I didn't really trust that. Alright, so we'll go to the trade recap then. Let's quickly find where we are. Alright, so I do have it at 330 set. Okay. So I think I do have the settings still. I took one short here because it was close to the standard deviation band 2. This was a zone that I had marked out. I could just double check right over here where it says 520. It just happened to be around that area. Of course, price has developed now, right? But we can see that this area was actually heavily respected as well. So over here I took a short because I saw absorption standard deviation bands 2. The delta was stacking up at this area, but we're failing to push higher. And if I'll check this now on the footprint chart, we can see exactly what happened and why I took out. Because there was absorption at the low, and it didn't let the trade run. Because it was very strong absorption at a very key level. So I'll quickly find that. Okay, so it should have been around here. 33, yeah, it was right at this area. Right, the key level was the high volume node with the standard deviation tab. And the normal VWAP. So I can see here, this isn't the best absorption ever, right? But I think I was more rather looking at ES. But we can also focus on the price action that happened afterwards. We can see the POC has shifted lower from this general area. Shifted lower here. We didn't really create any stacked imbalances, right? But once I've seen this candle print, like this is enough confirmation for me to entry around this level, right over here. Because we retested this area, didn't take out any high. Buyers kept trying to push here because absorption doesn't always happen in one instant, but it can be a process. Like in this area, buyers trying to go up can't. Buyers trying to go up here, even here, right? So what can we think what's happening here? At this area, big institutions are using retail traders to fill in their limit entries, right? This is exactly what's happening around this area, right over here. So right after that, we got a big push down. This is where VWAP was tapped, and we can see here, with these three candles, the POC was at the low with strong negative delta and stacked imbalances of 300%. And what do? We were not able to push lower than this with really big delta numbers at the lows. So at this point, I wanted to give another chance, but after the spike up, I closed around this area, right over here. So it was a 1.3 RR around. Then for the long, this is also a level BD told me, 429. There's a very small shelf here, like small high volume node in the high volume node, but I was looking at this general area, right? So you can see here at the start of 441 at 348. 441 right here. Okay, so the moment we start entering this price range, right, you can see here they were fighting a bit, get the POC higher, but this is negative delta, right, and we didn't really push above these areas of price. So when you start pushing lower and lower and lower, we can see how the POC shifted, right? It's no longer at like the middle of the candles here, but it's more ranging to the low of the candle. Not every time this happens, right? When the volume is concentrated at the low of the candle, is a meaning for absorption, but it's a chance, right? And that's why I believe, because we hit this key area, too, right? Around standard deviation 1, like more like in the middle, right? So I can't be too specific about it, but we were definitely oversold in the mean reversion. Like if I'm talking about mean reversion here. But you can see here, large negative delta numbers. Over here, this too, we got the push up, right? The POC was still at the low, so there's no entry yet. Then when this happened, right? When this candle formed, which only took around 5 seconds, right? I put my limit entry right over here, right at this area. Even though I could have done it higher just to like guarantee the fill, right? I did like this because I still sometimes think in an ICT way. But yeah, I took the long all the way up to the VWAP right over here. Or I think I took it a tiny bit further, honestly. Let me check. Yeah, 479. Yeah, literally right here, 479. But yeah, that was the market recap over here. Forward test the long because also extreme absorption. We can quickly go over it. 754. Because having like strong absorption in PM is rarer, but those setups tend to be very good still. Yeah, like right here. Yeah, you can yeah, this is crazy over here. You can see how it's like 258 volume, 218 volume, right? That we didn't even see that in the New York AM session, right? So like this means something here. A lot of volume in like what? Let's see the seconds. 18, right? But you gotta consider New York PM volatility, right? So the entry could have been right here. Like in this case, it's fine for like just to look at this POC and not these two, because this was such a like irregular candle, right? And one thing as well, right? This is negative delta, but we had a bullish candle. That's bullish divergence, so that's another confluence. And bullish divergence tends to be a bit rare as well, so it's a very good sign for a reversal. So when that happened, right, for the forward test, I obviously took a market entry, but the limit entry would have been right here at this stacked imbalance. Sure, if I would have been greedy, I would have put it here, but always like one tick above the entry point, right? So it would be here. But it's always better to like take the safest entry. But even I don't follow my rules sometimes and I miss out on shit, so. But yeah, you can see that it rallied all the way up. We had this high volume node that it like tapped, respected, rejected, right? And yeah.